On to more news. Tonight, relief could be on the way for thousands of families struggling to afford childcare.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun wants to invest now $200 million to expand access to childcare vouchers. Those are vouchers that were paused during his first term. Ella Rhodes has been looking into this, following this story. Joining us now live in studio, she's covered childcare affordability ever since the state made these changes last fall. So now we hear this from the governor today, wanting to make this investment. What does all this mean?
Yeah, well, it provides a lot of relief and makes a huge difference for families. Essentially, the state will resume enrolling around 14,000 low-income children for those vouchers. So this is something child care providers have advocated for since the fall, but they say there's still a lot of work to do.
A wave of emotions came over Holly Maxwell when Governor Braun decided to unfreeze the child care voucher waitlist for low-income families.
Relief and happiness. It's just, when you think of these babies out there and they don't have the opportunity to have a high-quality early childhood education, it breaks my heart.
The state froze the voucher list for 15 months. Which left thousands of Hoosier families unable to afford childcare. Then, this past fall, Indiana cut the voucher reimbursement rate for providers, forcing Maxwell to close her early childhood education center in December.
And unfortunately, I think that it took centers closing for him to realize that the decisions that was made was not the right decisions.
Maxwell is one of nearly 320 providers who closed their doors due to the cuts, according to the Indiana Association for the Education of Young Children. With new centers opening, Indiana Family and Social Services says the net loss is 139 programs over the last 2 years. Corey Kearns, an early childhood education consultant, advocated alongside Maxwell for the state to provide a solution.
Childcare isn't a side issue, it's an infrastructure. We are not babysitters, we are educators.
The state will prioritize enrolling children with siblings who already have vouchers, infants, toddlers, and children 3 to 5 years old.
These kids are finally getting served. They're getting the things that they need. The providers are going to get enrollment. The teachers are going to feel better about being at work. They're not going to be worried like, am I going to have a job tomorrow?
Despite the new funding, Maxwell doesn't plan to reopen her center.
I know my heart is to help the underdog, which is our low-income families. I don't trust the state. I don't know that I ever will trust the state.
Kearns and Maxwell agree the fight for affordable childcare is far from over.
Governor Braun's administration says parents will start to hear about receiving those vouchers in May. Now, you can find more information about where the $200 million comes from on WTHR.com.
Yes, important. Ella, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, ever since the governor's announcement about child care investment, several lawmakers now have reached out and they wanted to share their thoughts. For example, Representative Greg Porter sent a statement saying in part, quote, "I'm glad that Governor Braun has finally recognized the needs for action. He has finally heard the pleas of Indiana's working parents, whose calls got louder after his reimbursement rate cuts."
And then on the Republican side, State Senator Spencer Deary sent a statement and it says, quote, "This infusion will expand affordable child care options to local families, and it shows Indiana is open for business and ready to start treating the development of a robust child care system like the infrastructure issue it is."